Hi, welcome to What the Flick, everybody. I'm Matt Atchity, Alonzo Duraldi, Christy Lemire. We are here to talk about Paddington, the story of a bear from darkest Peru who needs a home. Christy, you want to describe the movie?
Paddington is live action, CGI, so kind of like Ted, you have this CGI bear roaming among real people, and rather seamlessly so. The effects are very good. So this is Paddington's origin story. It's where he came from and how he ended up in London and where he got the hat from, and Ben Whishaw voices him. He has all kinds of clumsy, awkward antics trying to assimilate to civilized life. But just when he thinks he's getting settled and comfy, Nicole Kidman comes along as a ruthless taxidermist in dominatrix gear. Take a look.
Stranger danger. Keep your eyes down. There's some sort of bear. Hello.
Hello there.
Mary.
It's a young bear needs our help, Henry. It's just for one night.
Do bears even have names? My name is...
Or perhaps you'd like an English name.
An English name?
Paddington.
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 Paddington? Sorry.
From the producer of Harry Potter.
You've literally just brought home a random bear.
He's much more similar than you think. Besides, what's the worst that could happen?
Oh, no.
That was amazing.
The greatest adventure
This family needs that bear every bit as much as he needs you.
is finding where you belong.
It doesn't matter that he's a different species or that he has a worrying marmalade habit.
Did you say marmalade?
Families stick together. I'm all right.
Paddington.
It's cute.
I really love this
It's cute.
movie.
Yeah, it's good.
I like this movie a lot. I was, because I'll tell you, between, Colin Firth got replaced as the voice of Paddington. They pushed the U.S. release date to January, which is always the kiss of death. And it's so charming And and the first so trailer was sweet. terrible. The first
Oh,
trailer
yeah,
was
the trailer-
terrible. It's super slapsticky, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like it's like the combination of all the gross out jokes. And it's like, oh God, that's what this movie's gonna be like. For people, my wife loves this book, and she was horrified at that trailer. And I know other people who know Paddington that were looking at this trailer like, oh no, what have they done? This movie's great. We recently talked to Hugh Bonneville at Rotten Tomatoes and got his 5 favorite films. And he said, I'm nailing my flag to the mast, as it were. One of his 5 favorites is Paddington. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because this movie is really sweet. It's, I think it could be a little bit more moving towards the end, but it's very cheeky. It's very clever. There's nice little asides without overdoing it. When Hugh Bonneville's on the phone trying to get the insurance, and there's this little aside that it's like, okay, he sells the joke of that without overplaying it. It's just a really sweet, cute movie.
Yeah, there's lots of wordplay. I'm sorry, there's lots of cute, clever wordplay. Like there's a car chase, and the GPS says bear left, and there's a bear to the left. Like, there's lots of clever little things to pay attention to.
Yeah, there are jokes that I think adults will respond to, but they aren't the kind of jokes that adults will be mortified that their kids are hearing. Like there's nothing smutty in this movie, but there's smarter, clever stuff that is going to go over kids' heads, and that's fine. I'm all for that in a kids' movie. Nick Lemire and I think, are on similar cycles, because every time in the movie that I was kind of going, I could hear him think, I'm not crying, Mommy.
And he came and cuddled on you at one point. You were so tolerant of my child.
That's the thing. This movie will get kids, because I took Gabriel to this. I took my 11-year-old. Nick is what, 4? 5? I took my 11-year-old, and 5 or 6 times during the movie, he kind of just leaned over. And
Oh,
it's very sweet. When they give him the blue coat, I was just kind of like.
But then also, I mean, if you are bringing really young kids, Paddington gets into some danger. Some really serious danger, which is kind of scary, and that was scary.
It's mostly cartoony. Was it scary?
I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to give it away, but he's in some serious peril.
Okay. Right, but I think that a younger kid may not even really understand that level of peril. Like I didn't get the sense, because there were a bunch of little kids at the screening I was at. There were 7 or 8 other people had brought younger children. and nobody seemed that, you can hear in a movie that's too intense for the kids. You'll hear the littler kids like, oh, mommy, I'm scared. Yeah. Nobody was like that. Yeah. They all seemed okay with it, and there were plenty of laughs. Now, I will say that I think the adults and the kids were laughing in different places a lot of times. Right. But this is a movie that is, it's like reading the beloved children's book. A lot of the British press has weighed in on this, a lot of the British critics who love this, and they feel like they got the tone of the book right.
It's a series of books.
It's a series of books. It's very sweet. I know we keep saying that, but this is a movie that it's got a lot of affection for its characters, and I think we see sometimes movies that don't have affection for its characters, and this is a movie that, but for one person, everybody, you kind of feel a little bit of empathy for them, as opposed to some of the movies that we've seen where it keeps doing all these terrible things to its characters. You're not laughing at the characters. No. You're laughing with them.
It's very affectionate, but also it has this very stealthy allegory about immigration.
Well, yeah. I mean, actually, there's a couple of things because, Paddington's tag is always sort of suggested to the kids in the Blitz. But then you also have Jim Broadbent as an antiques dealer who talks about being a childhood refugee, and it's like, oh, you're talking about the Kindertransport. Like, this is... but it's still like not violating the sort of sweet, mood of this movie. It's written and directed by Paul King, who did this really cool British comedy series called The Mighty Boosh. He's mainly a TV guy up till now, but I think he really kind of gets the tone just right. And there's a great cast. I mean, you've got Hugh Bonneville and Sally Hawkins and Julie Walters and Peter Capaldi, my doctor. Right. So it's
who was dialing his Scottish accent down a lot.
Matt Lucas is a cab driver. There's a lot of funny stuff. But Imelda Staunton and Michael Gambon as voices. But it's so sweet and so funny, and I really had a great time, and it does seem like one of those sort of rare movies that adults and kids, they'll laugh at different places, but they'll both have a good time.
I want to see Nicole Kidman do more comedy.
Right, she's funny as something like To Die For, but that was a very long time ago. And when she does do comedy, it's bewitched and it's terrible.
Yeah. Right. I think there are better.
Somewhere.
This is sort of a wacky spin on her Golden Compass character, I thought.
Oh, yeah. So what's your number? You loved it, Alonzo.
I give it a 9.1. I was stunned that I had such a good time, but I loved it.
Matt?
You're going to give it a 7?
You give it a 7.
7.
I'm saying 7.5, so our average is 7.8. It is at?
It's the high 90s on the tomato
97
right now,
last I saw.
Certified fresh.
So go see this instead of Black Hat.
Yeah.
Bye.